How can you want to impose democracy by killing millions of people? That's dictatorship, that's not democracy.
You know, colonial powers and imperialist powers, they prefer a religious Islamic revolution rather than a socialist revolution. There is no democratic president in the world. I say truly, who is the democratic president? Trump? Obama? Who is here in Britain? We should be clear. Democracy is an illusion. We cannot have democracy in a capitalist, imperialist, patriarchal system, religious system.
Why not?
Because this is, they want money. Because if you remove religion and capitalism and imperialism, then you will have socialism. And then no government will be there, you know. They are afraid of the real power of the people. You cannot have democracy, because what is democracy? Democracy is real freedom.
But if you believe that none of these democracies are democracies, why do the people live with it?
Because people are oppressed. People are not organized. We are prevented from organizing. That's the key point. When I was an individual writer, even if I become famous and star, they allow me, but not to organize. The minute I started to organize women and men, I became a danger. You are not organized here. The people here are not organized.
But nobody is stopping organization here.
But they stop it.
No government is going to come and lock you up or kill you in Britain, are they?
But in a subtle way. I know the American way. You cannot organize in the US.
Why? What will happen?
Because the government will stand in front of you. You cannot end capitalism. You can't have a socialist revolution in the US. You can't.
Maybe there aren't enough people.
They kill you.
But maybe there aren't enough people who want a socialist revolution in the
people
United
doesn't
States.
want socialist revolution.
Do you think there are many socialists in America?
Many people. The majority of people, all my friends there are socialists. They are against Trump. You know how millions of people were marching against Trump and they couldn't do anything? Why? Why people were marching in millions against Trump and against the war in Iraq and even against the war in Palestine, everywhere, but they didn't stop anything. Why?
So what is your message to all these people? How should they try to change the world?
Two things: to organize and to re-educate people, to make people aware. Because people are brainwashed by the media, by education. People don't know. When I was a professor in America, my students who were graduates, because I was teaching graduates, they didn't know anything about politics. They are not educated. They have technology, but not educated. So you need to make people aware, to re-educate or to unteach them, to eradicate the very traditional bad education. That's creativity. And that's what I was teaching. Creativity to me, and dissident creativity, was to unteach people so that they will start to know their rights, men and women, and to organize.
Do you think you have to pick your battles?
To what?
Choose the battles. So you've talked about the patriarchy, you've talked about capitalism, you talk about religious oppression. Can you fight all these three fronts at the same time, or do you need to pick them off one by one?
You need to be aware, number one, because splitting makes us ignorant. Education is based on splitting reality. You know, in compartments, they divide our head. You put here religion, and here gender, and here medicine, and here history. That's why we end by knowing nothing. But creativity is to unite, to link. And now they encourage this social media, which really fragment people. They want to fragment people, not to...
Why do you think social media fragments people?
Because they are alone, they are prisoned. They don't meet.
Doesn't it help people organize?
sometimes the Facebook and the Twitter and all this help to collect people, but not to make them aware. You know, it's a very difficult job. It's difficult and needs commitment that people should not be just oriented to the benefit of the family, of the biological family. We are trained to be our self-interest, our children, the family. That's why they preach the family, the moral code of the family. The family. When you go to the States, you hear the president speaking about the family. The family. The family is worshipped. The family, and you have. So everybody is working hard and fighting to feed the children on the self-oriented family, but not to open for the society and to have a socialistic organization. No, this is not happening. We can talk about it, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Are you very pessimistic then?
No, I am not. I'm not. Who said? I don't look.
Well, because you say it's not going to happen and it can't happen.
No, it can happen, but we need awareness, and we need to struggle together.
Do you believe you will see it?
I am very optimistic, because hope is power. I don't believe in pessimism at all. When I was in prison, I was very much hopeful. And in the worst situation, I never lose hope. So we need to continue the struggle globally, global and local, because we cannot fight alone in Egypt. It is a universal battle. Universal battle. But it has to start locally. And then to link. I am very fond of the word link, connection.
Is this a perpetual struggle?
Is it what?
A perpetual struggle.
Yes.
So, in that case, will it ever actually happen? Will the world you want to see
it will come.
Ever change? When?
It will come. Well, I don't care about when. If you look to history, you cannot say when. History is history, you know, and life is changing. And we are now much better than 100 years ago. Look at history, and then you will be hopeful. You will be very optimistic if you look to history.
So we have to stop pretending that countries that just hold an election where sometimes the winner somehow magically gets 90% of the vote because all the opposition is locked up or can't get on TV is a democracy.
It has been long when several people have been coming out to speak about democracy in Africa. Many people have been coming out, not only the black people, but we have seen several white people like Elliott, who have been coming out always to speak about democracy and how democracy is an illusion, because this democracy never worked, never existed. And not only in Africa, because even the people in America, in Europe, the people who are the firm believer in democracy, who came to deliver or to preach democracy here in Africa, their countries never used that democracy. That's why today you see some things are happening across the globe, whereby you may ask questions. Why are these happening when the people who are in power, who are in charge of everything, they are the one who are preaching democracy here in Africa? Why don't they just use that democracy maybe to solve their own problems in their countries? Now, the leaders, all these leaders who have been coming out to criticize or to break down democracy, many people never came to understand. A few years ago, we have seen different way of governance, whereby the Africans started to hype the names of military leaders, like from Sahel or West Africa. And the people who never knew the truth behind all those is that they are trying to ask questions. Why do we have to hype or celebrate undemocratic leaders? Why do we have to hype the names of military leaders? Because military governments, because they were not the people's choice. So at this time, we are not in a point of being told what is happening. We are not in a point of reading or being told or as how things are running. But we are in a point of we are watching everything that's happening, and we are coming to a point of judging and coming to realize that this is right and has been wrong since those days. Now, for us to come today and speak about democracy and prove or to justify that democracy never existed, we have seen all that is happening across Africa. More so this year has been the year of all Africans and the black people to realize that democracy never existed, because the people who are even supposed to protect this democracy, the people who are there maybe to try to say something or try to address the issues that are affecting Africans and the people who are suffering just because of this democracy, are the same people who today are failing Africa, are the same people today who are supporting injustices, are the same people today who are supporting democratic leaders, the so-called democratic leaders, while oppressing their people, killing their people, and supporting evils in the countries.
It was Suluhu versus Samia. She was competing with her own shadow. Today, maybe now, it will be coronation saying she has won.
No such a thing. AU, there's no such a thing. It's a group of old people who protect each other. They don't protect the interests of their people. It's a club. It's a gentleman club. They don't care. They don't call each other out. So they are unable to say, you are wrong here, you are wrong there, and therefore this is how we need to fix it. And the way forward is that the youth must take politics serious.
Today, we have seen things that has happened in the country of Cameroon. We've seen things that has happened in the country of Tanzania. We are watching things that are happening in the country of Uganda and many other countries in Nigeria. All these countries has the leaders. They have the governments. The governments are the one to pressure, to make sure that the law of democracy is being used. Everyone, no matter who you are, because democracy and constitution guides that everyone have to work under the law of the country. So I wonder which laws are these leaders using? Because today all the scenes, all the things that has happened in the country of Tanzania, we also that it was more than genocide, because many thousands of people being killed in few days or in a single week. This is not a joke. This is something that the world was supposed to stand up and say something, but no one stood up to say something. We have AU, African Union, which is there. And in fact, its headquarters is in Tanzania is one of the members in AU. But African Union was there silent, watching everything happen in the country of Tanzania. And at the end of the day, the chairman of ECOWAS, Dr. Yusuf, came out clearly and congratulated the victory of Madam Samia Suluhu. So if the people themselves, the people who some of them even don't know the laws or the rules or anything about democracy, if they are watching all these evils, they come out to criticize, they come out to condemn everything that's happening in that country, how the people are losing their life, how the properties are being destroyed. Then the leader of the African Union, the biggest body in Africa, instead of coming out to do something or to act, they came out to congratulate the victory of the presidential elect.
The African Union has outlived its usefulness. One wonders why the African regional body, cannot come out boldly and openly to condemn or castigate the political events that are taking place in Tanzania. The current president, Madam Samia Suluhu, bungled the election in broad daylight. She detained her key opponents to get a smooth ride to victory. She has bungled the elections. The country is in turmoil, with this violence all over, in the front corners of the country. But it is so perturbing, it's so disturbing that the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Ahmed Yusuf, has come out to congratulate a bungled election, to congratulate Samia Suluhu for bungling the election. What message is this sending to the world?
As everyone was being pissed off everything that happened. So we sometimes say that for these people today, or Africans who are coming out to congratulate or to hype the name of military leaders, it is not because they like it. It is not they love doing that. But it's because the leaders themselves have come out to justify to them and to approve to them that truly democracy don't exist, and it never existed. Because there is no way a leader can be elected and democratically. He violates every rule that is supposed to be done during the conduction of that election, during the whole period. And then they went on and swear in when the whole African leaders watching, and nobody came out to defend or to protect. Today we are having several protesters who are detained from Tanzania, in the country of Tanzania. And the law or the court of Tanzania and the president charged them with a treason case. And they never came out to address anything on the social media. But they were just doing some things which is like it's a fun to them. But today it's like they were sentenced to death, because treason case, that's like a murder case. That's like you are supposed to be hanged to death. So those are the cases that are supposed to be that are supposed to have with the people like terrorists, but not the protesters. So Traore have been coming out every day to speak against or to go against the democracy, because he have been always coming out to tell Africans, that African leaders, that if this is the democracy that you are practicing by killing millions of people, then there's no need of that democracy.
How can you want to impose democracy by killing millions of people? That's dictatorship, that's not democracy.
So this is the time that we and everyone in Africa is watching all that's happening. It is the time now we have to make a decision that we know that it's not going to cost us. This is the time that we have to stand up as youths and as Africans to say that enough is enough, and all that has been going on in Africa, whereby the leaders have been using the power they have to kill, to destroy our countries, when we and some of the Africans are fighting so hard on how to build Africa, how to protect Africa from imperialists, how to do the best they can do to make sure that everyone in Africa lives the life needs, like basics. And at the same time, the African leaders themselves are there destroying the people, destroying the countries, destroying everything that has been built in the country. So this is not the life that our freedom fighters were fighting. The condition that is in Tanzania today was not the kind of life that Julius Mwalimu Nyerere was trying to fight for. All that is happening in the countries of Congo was not the life that Patrice Lumumba was fighting for. All that is happening today in Libya is not what Gaddafi was fighting for. All that is happening across Africa and the world was not what Malcolm X was fighting for. So today is the time that we have to stand up as Africans, as the youths, to make sure that we achieve the agendas and the dreams of great Africans like Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, because they were fighting to make sure that Africa is totally liberated. Africa gained its free independence and revolution. But this is not the time, this is not the kind of life that we are living. What caused some of the African leaders? It cost life of some people. The freedom that we are playing with it today, it caused some people to be where it is today. So all these leaders today who are misleading, taking advantages to their people because they have power, it has come to the point where we have to say it has to stop, because we cannot be coming here every day to speak about freedom of Africa, to speak about imperialists, to speak about borderless, to speak about everything that we need in Africa, while our African leaders themselves, instead of building, they are destroying our African continent. They are killing their people, the people that they're supposed to be protecting. We cannot continue living like this. So I will not take much of your time, because this is something that I believe that everyone who passed across, it is something that we have to speak about. It is something that we have to stand out and say something, because this is not what we are praying for. This is not what we are fighting for. This kind of life, whenever I see these kind of things happening, I reflect back to what happened under colonization, under slavery, because like what has happened in the country of Tanzania, losing that number of people in a single week, that's more than colonization. That's more than slavery. So we cannot continue losing African youths, the innocent youth who are going on the streets, speak their voice, to ask for justice, to ask for their rights, instead of the government giving them or listening to their voices and maybe trying to do what they're demanding. They unalive them. That's not right. So wherever I came from, I'm talking to the black people across Africa and across the world. We have to stand up. We have to come together. We have to unite so that we can be strong enough to fight against every obstacle that is coming and trying to limit our agenda and our dreams. Until next episode and next time we come here and share something else concerning our motherland, then may we be blessed origin from, and thank you for being here each and every day. This is the Black History. Continue supporting and coming back.